arachnophobia, claustrophobia, autophobia, ophidiophobia, and so many more. Everyone has probably heard the word phobia before. People associate the word with another word, fear. However, fear and phobia do not mean the same thing. A fear of something is the belief that something will be harmful to you. A phobia, on the other hand, is an extreme fear of something. Let me give you an example. Arachnophobia, the fear of spiders. If you are just scared of spiders, you may get startled when you see one, or even quickly move away from it. I know that my mother, who has a fear of spiders, will automatically get away from a spider if she sees it, while still keeping her eyes on it, and yell for someone to kill it. Someone who is arachnophobic, however, if they even think about a spider, they may begin to panic without even seeing one. If they actually come face to face with a spider, they may have a panic attack, feel nauseous, have an increased heart rate, or even feel disoriented. And these symptoms are not just for arachnophobia either. These symptoms and others happen with most phobic reactions. Now, the topics I plan on covering in this video are the mental effects some people's phobias have on them and when these phobias happen. First, I'll be starting with the different types of phobias. Phobias usually fall into 5 categories: animals, the natural environment, medical issues, and other phobias. First off are animal phobias, or zoophobias. Allurophobia, the fear of cats, arachnophobia, the fear of spiders, chirophobia, the fear of bats, cynophobia, the fear of dogs, entomophobia, the fear of insects, equinophobia, the fear of horses, helminthophobia, the fear of worms, herpetophobia, the fear of reptiles, ichthyophobia, the fear of fish, mesophobia, the fear of bees, musophobia, the fear of rats or mice, ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes, ornithophobia, the fear of birds, and rhinidophobia, the fear of frogs or toads. Next up are the fears of the natural environment. Astrophobia, brontophobia, and umbrophobia are the fears of lightning and thunderstorms. Acrophobia is the fear of heights. Nyctophobia, the fear of the night or the dark. Thalassophobia, the fear of the sea. Heliophobia, the fear of the sun. Anemophobia, the fear of the wind and air. Hydrophobia, the fear of water. The next category I'll be talking about is medical-related phobias. Entomophobia, the fear of medical procedures. Hemophobia, the fear of blood. Trypanophobia, the fear of needles. Dentophobia, the fear of the dentist. Emetophobia, fear of vomiting. Iatrophobia, the fear of doctors. Nosocomophobia, the fear of hospitals. And nosophobia, the fear of getting sick. Finally, we'll be covering other phobias that don't necessarily fall into those categories. Androphobia, the fear of men. Anginophobia, the fear of choking. Arithmophobia, the fear of numbers. Autophobia, fear of being alone. Bacteriophobia, fear of bacteria. Bathmophobia, the fear of steep slopes or stairs. Chorophobia, the fear of clowns. Cyberphobia, the fear of computers. Escalophobia, the fear of escalators. Genophobia, the fear of women. Lochiophobia, the fear of childbirth. Necrophobia, the fear of death or dead things. Obesophobia, the fear of gaining weight. Pogonophobia, the fear of beards. Pyrophobia, the fear of fire. And somnophobia, the fear of sleep. With all of those out of the way, we can tackle what effects phobias can have on a person. As I said previously, some effects phobias can have on someone are panic attacks, disorientation, nausea, or an increased heart rate. Some other effects can be sweating, trembling, pain or tightness in their chest, butterflies in their stomach, dizziness, numbness, dry mouth, or ringing in the ears. All of these are quite harmful, and some seem to also be what people are afraid of or have a phobia of. For example, one side effect is choking, and a phobia people can have is anginophobia, the fear of choking. Even though I'm not a professional, I know that this is not good. But don't worry, many people know how to deal with their phobias. Some people just choose to ignore whatever their phobia is, and this is a very effective strategy. If a person's phobia is unavoidable, like for instance acrophobia or the fear of heights, some people get mental help like a therapist. Now, you may think that acrophobia is avoidable, but some acrophobes are triggered by driving over a bridge or looking out the window of a tall building. Anyway, back to treatment of phobias. One common treatment is therapy, particularly exposure therapy. In exposure therapy, if someone has cynophobia or fear of dogs, their therapist may first ask them to read about dogs. Then their therapist will show them a picture of a dog. Finally, the therapist might take the person to an animal shelter to meet some dogs. Of course, exposure therapy isn't the only treatment. Even though therapy is the best way to treat phobias, another form of treatment could be medication. Now, medication can have side effects and is seen as more of a short-term treatment. Some medication that a phobic person can take are antidepressants, tranquilizers, and beta blockers. These medications can calm someone down if they're panicking, but each of these has side effects of their own. Antidepressants can cause nausea, sleeping problems, headaches, and upset stomachs. Beta blockers can cause sleeping problems, upset stomachs, tiredness, and cold fingers. Most people should just see a therapist to help with their phobias. Finally, is when phobias develop in a person's life. Short-term phobias usually develop when a child can be as young as 5 years old. Can you imagine a 5-year-old having to deal with a panic attack anytime they see something like a dog or a cat or a beard? Anyway, longer-term phobias usually develop in a person's mid to early 20s. And those phobias are the ones that last much, much longer, sometimes in a person's entire life. And so that's when phobias usually occur. So in conclusion, phobias are something that people have in their everyday lives. Phobias can be something that sound odd, like arithmophobia or fear of numbers. Or it can be something that many people are scared of, but not to the point of a panic attack, like nyctophobia or the fear of the dark. Many long-term phobias develop in a person's mid to late 20s, like I said, and the easiest way to deal with them is to avoid whatever it is that triggers that phobia. What I want to leave you with is this. If you have a phobia, you should probably go see a therapist. And I hope you learned something new about the people around you and in this world. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.